Happy Friday to everybody. It's Jim Malone coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it's kind of been it's sort of been an interesting market today. Nothing really exciting, but I'll take that. I like to see the market move like this. Kind of slow but sure wins the race. Nothing really exciting, but there is an interesting trade that I want to show you today, and that's based on a stock that I really like, NVIDIA, and I'm going to be showing you kind of a way I intend to trade this particular stock because I think it's very interesting. It's going to have a stock split, and this is going to give us a very interesting opportunity, kind of like the opportunity that we had last year on Tesla and on Apple when Tesla split 5-for-1, and then Tesla split, Apple split 4-for-1, and then Tesla split 5-for-1. So it's kind of a good opportunity, and I don't like to let opportunities. I don't like to waste opportunities. So let me get into kind of the slides, and and then we'll go for the questions from there. So let's get that going. See if I can get everything correct here. So let's get to these slides. All right, well, basically, I'm going to kind of adjust this around a little bit, just so it gets a little bit easier to see. There we go. All right, so basically, we're in a confirmed uptrend. We're still in a market trend under pressure, but I think with the action, hopefully we're going to see it move to a confirmed uptrend. I'm hoping. We're still under pressure, so we still want to keep a significant amount of our money in cash. I'm starting to come out of cash and try to find some opportunities, and I think we may have some coming up here. I've been buying today. I did buy a little bit more of space. Virgin Galactic this morning. I may have gotten stopped out of that. I'm going to have to take a look. My stop was set at 30.50, and of course it's run up significantly. So we'll still see if that held or not. But overall, the Nasdaq is going up. We're getting close to that very critical 14,000 level. The S&P is up today, which is nice. Also, the Dow is up, so it's kind of all up. Now, there's still a lot of inflation worries out there. Volume's down a little bit. It's a Friday. Now, we're coming into the long weekend. I won't be back on Monday because the markets will be closed. I will be back on Tuesday. All the U.S. markets will be closed for the Memorial Day weekend. It's a 3-day weekend, so I won't be back until Tuesday. But I did just buy some as NVIDIA weekend. I bought a little bit going into the close, so hopefully that will work out. Here's what the Dow Jones is looking like, and it's moving nicely. It bounced off the 50-day line here, as you can see, and it's moving up. That's a bullish sign. Again, the Dow has stocks in it such as Caterpillar, Boeing, those kind of old industrial stocks are in there, but it's doing well, and that's good because that's helping with the reopening trade. Disney, of course, is in there. There are two kind of big tech stocks that are in there. Microsoft is in, and Apple's in. Now, Apple, as of late, has been pulling back, has not been doing so well. So I do have a small, I have trimmed my position significantly in Apple, and I probably will be trimming once again. So, who knows what's gonna happen. Hopefully I'll get my camera back here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got our camera back. Still having some of those technical issues, I think, related to the bandwidth. I'm not sure exactly why I'm having those technical issues, but I seem to have them. So there we got our camera back. I wanted to show you the Nasdaq Composite. This is very key. It pulled down much lower than the Dow, and it bounced off that 13,000. It's moving up towards 14,000 again. This is a critical thing. If we can come back up to 14,000, I think we're going to continue to see higher highs. Right now, we have a good trend. Hopefully, we're going to be moving higher on that. Hopefully, we're going to be moving higher on the Nasdaq. So, pretty excited about that. I just wanted to take a look at another stock in here, and this is, I believe, I don't know what this is. Okay, let me show you the stocks I have currently. That's probably the best way to do it. Of course, I'm in Apple. It's off today again. In Matador, it was up today very nicely. This one has been proved to be a very good stock. It's a small E&P company, done very well. Also, Whiting Petroleum has done well. It's up as well. Not a whole lot of volume, kind of weak on the volume there. I do have a position in Newmont Mining. Of course, that's the world's largest gold miner. That's been doing well. And of course, we talked about NVIDIA. NVIDIA is up significantly today. It's up about 5% or $31. This is going to split, and I do believe this is even going higher above that. So this is one to watch. I want to show you how I'm going to be trading NVIDIA going into the split. That's going to come up here in just a second. Copart. It's up a little bit, not a lot of volume, but it just slow and sure wins the race. I do have some gold bullion shares. This is the Spyder Gold Etf. It's up again today. It's just been gradually moving up with those inflation fears. And of course, we do have the rocket ship here, Space or Virgin Galactic. It's up again today, 24 cents. But the volume is up, and I have it currently at a stop out at 30.50. So that's where my stop loss is. Okay, great. Let's go to how I'm going to play. How I'm going to play this great opportunity on NVIDIA. And I was just right before the show, I was just putting it together here and getting it ready to go. But basically stock splits are very interesting because they form a very, very predictable pattern that you can that you can take advantage of many times. And that is, this is basically how they trade. They basically, will be announcing, they announce a 4-for-1 stock split. That was announced on May 24th. And basically, NVIDIA has not split its shares in over 10 years, so it's really due. The current, we're over $600 on the shares. If we held at the current levels of price, we would see NVIDIA stock in about the 150 to 170 level after the split, maybe a little bit higher than that. But one of the things that is very interesting about stock splits is they produce these very predictable price actions. And I've divided these into 5 phases, and this is how I'm going to be trading NVIDIA. Okay, so basically, if you're the owner of record of 25 shares of NVIDIA by June 21st, that is the date of record, 2021. Then on July 18th, basically almost a month later, 2021, you will receive 100 of these split shares. Basically on July 19th, the split shares will begin trading basically at 1/4 of their former price. Now, typically what will happen in phase 1 of this is that, we will see a movement up in the price of the stock. We've definitely already seen that. The announcement was made on the 24th, and we just came through earnings. NVIDIA had excellent earnings, and they were up on earnings. So not only have we reversed higher, but we've had the split announcement, and we've had excellent earnings. So basically, we are past the first event, which is basically the pre-announcement and the announcement. We're in phase 3, which is the pre-split, and this is the opportunity to acquire shares. Just kind of want to show you how it typically trades. This number 1 here, this is prior to the split announcement. The split announcement, of course, being May 24th, and we're past that. So we're already past the announcement date. The announcement date was just a few days ago, May 24th. It currently and then it has started to trade up, and it was NVIDIA closed on May 24th at $599.67. Currently, it's trading for about $650. So it's up almost 10% since that announcement, and that's very predictable here. Now, we may see a pullback, a little bit of a pullback, but NVIDIA has been very, very strong. On yesterday, it closed at $619. Today, it closed at $650. I do believe it probably will hold this level and possibly go higher. I've been acquiring shares at this level, and the reason is because I do think that it is going higher. Now, we are coming to the split, to the day of record. The day of record, number 3 here, is going to be Oops, I have to show you back the day. Did I show you the day of record? Yeah, the day of record basically is here, and what that is that on June 21st, we have to, on June 21st we have to be of record in order to get the split. So that's what I'm doing. I'm accumulating till then. Now on the split date is July 18th, and then on the next day, July 19th, it will trade that way. Typically what will happen is after the split, you'll see the stock move down, and then it will probably move up after that. Here's how I plan to play it. Phase one, nothing, do nothing. We're past that. Phase two, the announcement, we've already had that. I began my accumulation of shares. Phase three, this is from today till June 21st. I'm going to be trying to buy shares 3% below the buy point. The buy point is 648.53. Now I was not able to do that today. It's moved past the buy point at 650s at 648.57. So I just went ahead and bought my first tranche. Then on phase four, that's on the day before the split, I'll be selling half of my shares, and I'll be holding half through. And then on day five, I'll probably be buying back my shares. So that's kind of the plan. Here's the chart. This is how it's been trading. As you can see, it's in this cup pattern, and it is right in the buy zone. When this was taken a few minutes ago, it was 647. It's currently trading at 650. If you want to get more information on this, super easy to do. Get on the action trade alerts at www.sendfox, fox.com/Dallas Trading Floor, and we'll get you on the list. I'm going to try to send out a link to the slide deck that I'm producing so that everyone can kind of follow along on how I've been trading on this. So let's see if I can get the there we go. See if I can start getting to some of the questions. Thank you very much for holding on. And that's kind of how I'm going to be trading NVIDIA. I think it's a very good opportunity. Oh, well, great, Samuel. Thank you. And of course, I am going to be trading NVIDIA. Let's take a look at the live chart for NVIDIA right now. Let me pull that up here. That is. And I do think this provides a very, very nice opportunity. I know I'm going to be in it. So hopefully I'm right this time, like I was. Well, I shouldn't say that. Like I was last time. That sounds like I'm being, showboating here. I'm not. This is stock splits typically always trade this way. So they're a great opportunity. And that's what I want to try to bring to everybody, that opportunity. Okay, so let's go ahead and share out that screen. There we go. All right. So thanks, Samuel, for bearing with me here on this. We've pulled back a little bit. I did buy at 650. I'm not disappointed at all because it's just moving very nicely. It's up $30 today, as you can see that. And let's look at the 5-minute chart to see how it's been trading. I've been accumulating. I bought right in here, so we'll see how it trades into the end of the day. But I do believe, and I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart here. You see, this is when we started. This is kind of today. So we're starting to see, that run. That run really starts here, and then as you can see, we've come in and then we've moved to the next level. So the question is, how high will it go? I don't know, but I do think, it's definitely worth being in it, at least for the time being. Now, of course. The earnings were excellent, 103%. Now, and this is not a small company, by the way. This is a very major company, and yet they had some seriously good earnings. Their sales are up 64%. 84% quarter over quarter. Their profits were up 103%. And remember, this is a large company. This is cash flow positive. This is not a growth company. They have dividends, and they are strong dividends. So right now, this is probably the #1 AI chip company in the world, and it is more valuable, I believe, than Intel currently. Let's look at the checklist. The checklist is excellent. The only down point is this relative strength. The only reason that relative strength is low is because we did have this huge pullback. The relative strength is only 73 on this. I say only. but it's an upward pointing line. So that does, if the market, overall market strengthens, we will see NVIDIA strengthen as well. So that's what that's showing. Now, there is a concern here on the industry rank. I don't like the fact that the semiconductor fabless is 163 out of 197, but that has to do with the sell-off that we've had in the last 3 months in all things tech. I think that, we have definitely reversed, and we are moving higher. I'll show you the reversal line that I have on it. Let's see, let's zoom in here. I put in this reversal line on the daily chart. This is where I started to buy after it moved above the 21-day line. I started at about 580, and then I made another buy at 600, and then now I've made a further buy at 650. So I do think that we're going to see some strength into here, and well, hopefully, I I haven't screwed the pooch on this one. hopefully, it's the way to go. But anyways, NVIDIA, very, very strong, and I'll be sharing more about how I'm going to be trading into the split. Let's look at HCO. Of course, this is Marine Max, and I've had this one. I was shaken out of this one. I did take profits in this one. This one was a good one for me. I am not holding it currently, but I did sell it for a very nice profit. And it looks as if, unfortunately, it has kind of moving in the wrong direction as of late. I typically, it's uncanny how when you get a pullback of about 7%, how that many times indicates that you're at the top of the range. Currently, the buy point on this is 63.99. Right now, it's pulling back. Maybe it's pulling a handle, forming a handle. But one of the things I think you have to be concerned about, at least for right now, is that we have this increasing selling going on. And so that is of a concern right now. So if you're not in the stock right now, I wouldn't enter it. But if you've been in it like I has, I took profits about 2 weeks ago on this one, and it's proven to be very good. So if I were in this one, I don't know if it may reverse higher above the 50-day line, but currently it's trading below that. So I would be very careful. I set my stop loss relatively tight, maybe at 2% below this number. So I would probably have a stop loss at about 48 or so on HCO. It's good stock, but it's sort of resting, and it may be moving in a different direction. Let's look at Blink Charging. This is another one that I really like. I haven't been in this one really. I was in this one heavily last summer. This has a very good story in that it is one of the largest networks of charging stations, and that's going to become increasingly important. It still hasn't reversed yet, so that's a concern. Well, I drew this reversal line here, but it's been trending down. It looks really the reversal. I really drew that too early. The real reversal line should be like approximately like here. It looks like it might just be making a reversal, and that might, depending on how it goes, this might be another reversal line. I'm gonna eliminate this old one, this old reversal line. Here's what I'm doing for everyone. I'm drawing a line from the highest high, which is 64.50, through 2 points. This is kind of like old, high school geometry. So I'm getting this line. This is the line of reversal. Currently, it's been in a downward trend, but if it moves above this line, then we can possibly confirm a reversal. I have a little alert here, and this is really where I want to be alerted to it at about $42, because that is going to show that there's enough strength that we really have a reversal. The relative strength is excellent. It's 99. Let's look at the checklist. Checklist is not as good, but 66 is acceptable on the checklist. We do have good ownership on the funds. This is relatively small, thin stock, but it's in a really great area, and I do think that this is potentially a great acquisition candidate. So here's what I would do with Blink right now. I would be I would be watch listing this one for now. and wait for a possible reversal. And I think the reversal really is at about $42. That's kind of where I'm looking at the reversal for this one. So watch this blink for right now, and possibly look to see a reversal at at about that $42 level right there. So that's kind of where I'm seeing blink. It's good stock. I wouldn't be buying it right now, but I'd be waiting for that that reversal. So there's some good opportunities there. Let's take a look at some questions from TikTok. Thank you very much for holding here. Should I buy Bitcoin? All right, we have the questions on Bitcoin. Before I'm going to go to the Bitcoin actual chart, I'm going to look at the proxy for Bitcoin, which I use. That's the GBTC, and let's take a look at that one. And it is still pulling lower. So would I be in it today? Probably not. It's pulled again below the 200-day moving average. This is the GBTC. I've got the GBTC at $30.18. It tends to be relatively close to the Bitcoin price. Let's look at the actual Bitcoin price that we have out there right now to see. Yeah, it's about 35. So it's holding. It's basically holding at about this level. It's trading in a range right now. Bitcoin's trading in a range from about 30 on up to about 40. I still don't like this chart. This is the 1 month chart. Let's look at the 5-day chart. Yeah, we're still in a downward trend on this one. I just don't think it's a good entry point right now. As you can see, looking at the it come up a little bit, but really we're still in a downtrend. So I just don't think it's a good entry point for for Bitcoin right now. I just don't. Let's wait to see if it moves above about 41, then maybe you could get back in. But I would be setting a stop loss on this one. I wouldn't let it run below 31, and I'd probably be selling right now, because it looks as if, at least in the short term, it's looking like it's moving back, unfortunately. Let me take another quote from somebody else. Thank you very much, Samuel, but I definitely want to do a little bit more. Okay, Nathan, buy more WMT, and let's go back to WMT. And I do have a Walmart. It's a slow and sure wins the race. But here's the thing with Walmart. I mean, why not buy something like Berkshire Hathaway? I mean, if you're looking for the long-term play, I mean, that might be a better bet than, Walmart is good, but it's just kind of, it's in this consolidation range from about 126 on up to 153. And I think it's going to stay there for a while. I mean, it only has a relative strength of 31. It's in a retail group, which is improving, but the major discount retailer chains are 169 and 167. Why not find a stock that's in a better just in a better place? Let's kind of look and see what how the individual sectors of the economy are holding up. So what I'm going to do right now is go down to the industry groups and see which industry groups are getting the best rank and which ones aren't. So currently, the number one group, if you're looking at Walmart, why not look at consumer retail, which is the number one group? That's the one I would be looking at. So let's kind of take a look at the consumer retail group. It's starting to make a move up finally. It was so beaten down. Basically, it's really because of GameStop, Best Buy, GameStop, Conn's, and Janine, which is a fabric store. So I don't know. Let's take a look at GameStop to see. This has been a real roller coaster. Let's see if we've got a short squeeze on here. Well, boy, look at this chart. Interesting. We just went after hours, and it looks like that. Let's look at the short interest. Short interest is 1.2 days. So let's see what that'll bring us. We can figure out how much of the let's see if we can figure out how much of the oops, I didn't get the apps up here. Let's get the apps. Let's see if we can calculate the amount of what the percentage of the short squeeze is. Let me bring up. Let's see if I have apps. Let's see if I can. No, it's the App Store. Oh God. Oh goodness gracious. Let's see if I can get the. I should have the calculator. Anyway, well, I don't want to buy books. Anyways, so the average daily volume is about 10 million. The float is 67 million. So it's about so currently GameStop, if we have a 1 point, I think we have a 1.2 day supply of short interest. The average daily volume is 10 million. The float is 67 million. So 1 out of 6 shares is short. So about 18 to 19% of GameStop currently is short. So that is significant. Anything above about 10% is about significant. So we're still potentially in a short squeeze. It looks like a lot of it's getting worked out. So I don't know. I would be real careful with GameStop right now. I would be real careful. If you're in GameStop, you want to start pushing your stop loss up. I'd have my stop loss at about 215 right now. That's where I would go if I were in GameStop, which I'm not. Let's look at Boeing. That's BA, of course, and that's major Dow component. It's the used to be the largest exporting company in the United States was Boeing. It has, I think the jury's really still out on Boeing because of the reopening trade. I mean, there's an awful lot of planes that are available now from companies that gave them up during the COVID thing. So, their sales were down and their profits were negative. I'm not liking that. I mean, it does look like they fought their way back to the 50-day line, and we have moved above that a little bit. But I just, this is the reversal line that I have on. Boeing. It has definitely moved above its reversal line. So potentially you could consider buying in here, but I just think it's weak, and I just think there's better other merchandise out there than Boeing right now. That's just my take on it. Okay, let's go and let's get questions from TikTok. What's your prediction over the Bitcoin price over next week? I do think it's going to pull back. I think you're going to see it come down to about by the end of next week. I think you may see it come down as low as about 31,000. That's kind of where I'm seeing it. Tesla, buy, sell, or hold. I bought it at 680. Woo. I think I would probably be a seller here, but let's look. I love Tesla, but it was my last year best. It was the best stock I had last year. It's up currently in after hours 625, which is significant. I do think it is an upward trend, at least for the current period of time. So if I had bought it at 680, I would hold on to it, but I would push my stop loss up. I would have a stop loss right now at about 615, and then I'd be moving that up. So I don't know if we can get back to 680 in the next month or so, but I definitely think it is moving that direction. So hopefully, there's the problem with Tesla right now is there's just a ton of overhead supply. And what that means is there's a lot of people that bought it up here at 800, 900. They haven't sold. And then as it comes back to 680, they're going to say, I'm going to sell and take my losses. So there's a lot of overhead supply with Tesla right now. It's going to take a while to base out, and it may be going sideways for a while. Now, remember, Tesla didn't always go up like the way it was. For the first 10 or so years, it basically moved relatively sideways. So, we may be going into a period for Tesla that's a little bit less volatile than it's been, in the last in the last in the last few years. Okay, what do you think about Alibaba? I have not been trading Baba since last summer. It's in a downward trend currently. This is the chart for Baba, Chris, and we're trading, and I just don't like to buy typically stocks that trade below their 200-day moving average, and that is definitely the case here. This is the 200-day moving average. This is the black line here. It's below that. It's also below the 50-day moving average. That's a strike against it, and it's also below the 21-day exponential moving average. Now, it is trading above the 10-day line, so the trend, at least in the very last week or so, has been somewhat up. It's up after hours, but right now, this stock has a relative strength of 9. That means that 91% of the market is doing better than this stock. I don't like to play in the bottom quartile. I like to be where the winners are, and unfortunately, right now, Alibaba is not in that area. They're sort of not in that area. Their checklist is 77. We do have fund ownership, but they're starting to bail out. We had in December 2020, we had 4,000 funds, 4,022 funds in it. Now we have 3,870. They're starting to see something. They're going for the exit. So what I expect is a bunch of fake outs, and then the big boys are basically going to leave a lot of retail investors holding the bag. So I wouldn't be in this one, Baba. I just don't think it's gonna. It was a winner last year, but I don't think you want to be there now. It's kind of a funny thing. I don't think you want to be in that one right now. Let's look at AMRN. Thank you very much for this. AMRN is the symbol, and that is an Irish developer of drugs. Wow, I didn't know about this company. Interesting. Drug plays. I'm not particularly good at drug plays, I'll be honest with you. But you can definitely do very, very well in it. I don't like this chart, to be honest with you. It made its high here back in February of about 925, and currently it's trading at 454, which is basically almost a decline of almost 50% decline in price since the beginning of the year. Has a relative strength of 4. Unless this thing reverses, and I'll draw a reversal line on it. Unless this thing reverses, I don't think you want to possibly be in it. I'm going to put a reversal line on here. I'm not convinced on this, but that might be a place to buy it. I just wouldn't buy it probably until it moves above 6, to be honest with you. It just has not confirmed a reversal. It's kind of like Newton, it's kind of like Newton's law of motion. Once something is moving in one direction, momentum carries it lower. Right now, the momentum is down on the stock. So I think you got to be careful until it makes a possible turn. So right now, I wouldn't be in it. Hey, Byron, thank you very much. Let's look at TGH. And that is Textainer Group Holdings. And they're basically in a good business right now. And that is providing those containers. Just talked to a friend of mine, Adam, in Chicago. He has a toy company. Very cool idea. He imports a lot of stuff from China, and he just says there's absolutely no containers out there. He can't get his product shipped. So this is not a bad place to be. There's a buy point on this one at 31.73. Normally, I'm not in this kind of a group, but boy, it's done pretty well. 32 out of 197 in terms of the group. I know about this company, Textainer. I see their containers all over the place. They've had excellent earnings. Their earnings were up 582% last quarter. Let's look at the weekly chart. Yeah, it's making a new high. It's right. It's a blue dot. Boy, you could buy this one right now. This is buyable. I normally don't say this, because I'm still tepid on this market, but this is buyable. So see how this thing trades on Monday. See how this thing trades on Monday, but this is definitely buyable. It's what they call a blue dot, meaning that it's seeing abnormally high buying action with price action. This is a good stock, very good stock, and I think that you have potential there. So it's a little extended above that buy zone. I would prefer, obviously, to buy it at about 31.73, but this is a good base. This is a cut base, so this is looking fairly good. I think it's going to go higher. This one, of course, is TGH. That's the symbol there. So for that one, let's take a look at the next question. Thank you. Can you tell me Acom stock is go to, I don't know about that. I don't know what the symbol is. Unfortunately, we're talking about email market. Oh yeah, absolutely. I put out a video today. And it was Holly asked me a question. What would I do if if I only had $1,000? I would go into email marketing. And I tell you why. Because you can get I have an email server. I use SendFox. There's a lot of other great ones out there. There's so many people that need help with their marketing. I mean, small businesses, and if you can do this for them and you get a commission, I do think that this is one of the greatest businesses that's ever been invented. Is it easy? No, and you have to get your customer base, but I think there's just so many opportunities in email marketing. It's not funny, and all you really need is an email list server and a bunch of lists, and I think you just go to town on it. That's what I'm doing, and it's just working really well. Very, for the amount of investment, it's just pretty amazing. Pretty amazing, I have to say. Okay, so let's see. I bought in. Okay, just a Bitcoin price. Okay, let's take another question from YouTube. And by the way, if you're interested and you're looking on TikTok and you want to jump over and see the charts and everything that I'm showing, very easy to do. Just go to my profile, hit that link, and scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's a live feed of the YouTube that we're showing right now. So pretty cool. All right. Oh, we did that one. Very good. That's a good one. All these are very good suggestions. Alibaba. Okay. RVP. Okay, RFP, let's look at that one. This is retractable. I don't think it's, I did recommend this one about a year, about 9 months ago. I have not been in it for a while. No, I'm sorry, Resolute Forest Products. I apologize. No, I did not recommend this. This one's a new one. Thank you for this. Anything having to do with lumber right now is doing really great, and this one is looking very good. Canadian manufacturer. So I like all of these. LPX pulled back a little bit today. Let's kind of look at the group for this one. Paper and paper products. I'm not as familiar with this, but let me pull up this group. This is an improving group. So it's group number 54. So I'm going to pull that up here and get kind of what's in that group. So let's go down there, 54. There we go, paper and products. Okay, this is the overall chart, looking very nice. Let's see what the leaders are. I like to buy the leaders typically in a group. International Paper, no surprises, number one. Let's look at let's see how IP is doing. And let's take a look at International Paper here. No, it's above a buy zone. That's looking pretty good. I don't know. Let's look at the number two. Let's look at the number two in that category, which is 150 is 54. So let's look at the number two, and that is a Japanese company. Okay, let's look at that. I want to see. No, that's not looking very good. I'm sorry, that's a Brazilian company. So I don't know. It's mixed. I do like the stock. The group's good too. So I don't know. I'm sort of at a loss for that one right now. Roblox. Boy, I tell you, this one has been on fire. This is, of course, I'm not a big computer gamer, but I do live stream on Twitch. But Roblox, for people tell me, and I haven't played the game, because it apparently is just, people love it. RBLX. Oh, there we go. Roblox. Okay, it's down a little bit today. On the daily chart, it's above a buy zone. This is a tricky one because this is an IPO. IPOs are tough to buy. This is not a typical IPO base. Typically, the IPO base will start out high, it'll go lower, then it'll come up. This one's just kind of gone sideways and gone up. This is a very strong company. Where would I buy this one? I'm looking at the weekly chart now to see if there's an entry point. There are some things I don't like about it. It's computer software gaming. It's 136 out of 197, which unfortunately I wish it were a better group than that, but it's not. Would I buy this one right now, Roblox? I probably wouldn't. The last IPO, the last buy point on this was 79.10. It's currently at 93. I just think you have to wait on this one, see what happens, see if it sells off a little bit. It looks like it's gonna sell off, but I wouldn't buy this one above 83.41. So I would be careful with this one. Don't buy this one now. See if it pulls back to about 83.41 and reverses. Then I think you might have a buy on this one. But it's a very interesting stock. It's very good. It's gotten a little ahead of itself. Sometimes that happens with really good stocks. They'll just move up quicker than they really should, and then you've kind of got to wait until you get another entry point. It's frustrating, but you just don't want to go all in. You gotta want to wait for the right time and then go in. I mean, that's kind of what you gotta do. All right, let's look for the next great winner here. And CPNG. Let's look at CPNG. CPNG. And that is a Korean online. This is interesting. I don't know this one either, but this would be a good place to look. I don't like the chart that much. It looks like it just came out in March. It's the IPO. It just is not long enough. It doesn't look like it's long. You really kind of give this a little bit of time, but this one might not be bad. Right now, on the retail internet is not doing as well. 165 out of 193. So I would probably watch this one. Yeah. Okay. Here's unfortunately the weekly chart tells the tale. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to wait for this thing to come back and move above about $50. It IPO'd at 35, but it immediately went up to about 50. This seems to be the resistance on this stock is about 50. So right now you can't buy this one, but you could definitely watch list this one. Wait until it moves above 50. And that's kind of where I'm seeing it on this chart, is you gotta wait until it moves above 50. Right now it's in a downward trend. 50 is the ceiling on the price. If it moves above that, I think it's good. Now, there are some concerns here. One of them, of course, is this sector. It's not as good a sector as I'd like to see it. There is 18% funds in it. I do like that. Most of the gain in a stock typically is made when the funds are 20% on up to about 60, 70% of the ownership. So it's getting into that sweet spot. We do have some funds that have come into 258 funds. That's not a small number. It's still losing money. It's a growth stock. Let's look at the checklist. The checklist is weak. It's 44. I typically need 66 to go there. The industry, again, weak, but I do like this area eventually, I think, as it turns around. One of the things I like about this is there's a very large fund in here, very large mutual fund called Fidelity Contra Fund. They typically pick winners, and so I like that. So this is definitely worth watch listing this stock. This is a good one to bring up, CPNG. I just wouldn't be a buyer right now. I just want to see some more conviction in it. But it's watch list. It's definitely you definitely could watch list this one right now, and I think that it might be very good. I think it might work very, very, very well. Okay, Bitcoin. When to sell it? I bought it at 39,300. Wow. I typically don't like to see anything I buy. I sort of have a rule. If it declines more than 7%, I sell it immediately, even if I'm taking that loss. I know that's kind of a weird thing to do, but you're below that right now. But I think let's see where Bitcoin is trading. Okay, it's trading at 35. So really, I hate to tell you this, and you're going to probably disagree with me, but here's what I would do if I were in your position. I would sell half of my position now to protect my capital, because it does look like there is a downward trend in Bitcoin, at least for right now. I think 38 was really too high. I think I would probably be a buyer in Bitcoin if it bounced at about 28, 29. I don't know if it's going to be there for a while. So I would lighten up my risk. I would sell half of my position and preserve my capital. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's what I would do anyway. So I do appreciate you giving me that chance to look at that one. PG bull spread, buy 130, sell 135. Looks like good. Let's look at PG. I do, as you know, I like the spreads because they limit risk. Let's see. Let's analyze that one. Procter and Gamble. Okay, that's a pretty. It's not a very volatile stock. A bull put spread, a bull call spread would probably. I don't know. Bull put spread. Okay, so you're gonna buy the lower, sell the upper. Okay. Let me just do a calculation on that, Ravi. See if I can come up with a. Let's see if that makes sense. I just want to take a look at that as a bull call spread. So let me pull it up and see if I can put together a bull for you. I'm going to do a put spread on PG. And you're basically saying a buy a 130. All right. So you're going to buy the 130. I'm going to go out about a month here to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go out to let's go out to July 16th. I think that's going to be better. I'm gonna buy a 130 and sell a 135. All right, let's take a look. That gives us about a net debit of about $3. And okay, so basically this would be, for this one, this would pretty much be the this would be how it kind of works out. Let me see if I can pull it up. So basically, what I think you're saying here is that, basically we'd be buying the 130s basically for $665, and then selling the 135s for $301. So about out of the pocket of per contract about $364. Let's see, that's giving us a very good probability of profit, about a 56% profitability potential there. So that's looking pretty good. That's a good trade. It's not a huge. It's not going to give you a huge return, because it's basically the entry cost is going to be about $364, and the return is $163. So I definitely could see that. That's a very safe trade, actually. I see that, Ravi, as being a very, very good, very safe trade on that. So that's what I would do. I would go out a little bit further. We could probably come in a little bit closer, but I'd be probably buying the July 16th and selling the July 16th. So that's kind of where I would do it. And I think we have a good possibility of profit, about 56%. So that's a good trade. Ravi. Thank you for bringing that up. I love spread trades like that because I love to limit my liability, and that's one of the things I'm really into. So very good. Thank you for putting that. Thank you for putting it out there. I'll definitely take a further look at that. But that looks like a pretty good trade there. All right, let's look at SCCO. Let's look at SCCO and move over to the right chart here again. SCCO, and this is our old friend Southern Copper. And Southern Copper's been doing great. I mean, everybody, this reopening thing has really shown how important copper is as a metal in terms of the industrial production of the world. And the Southern Copper basically operates primarily in Mexico and Peru. Very, very good company. Been around for a very, very long time. It's pulled a little bit below the 21-day line, but it's still in this consolidation. So I do like this one. 47% up in terms of sales, 254% up in terms of profit. So that's looking very good. They just went through earnings. I do think that I do think it's a very strong market for these kind of companies right now. The checklist is not bad, 66%. The industry is basically 21, ranked 21 out of 197. I like that a lot. The ownership on the funds is very good. 684 funds own this one. Not a, this is a this is a commodities play, so it's definitely dependent on the price in the market. But the price, if we have inflation, and I think we're gonna, this should do very, very well. Copper should do very, very well in inflation. And by the way, a byproduct of copper, of pulling copper out of the ground, is gold production. So that could only be good. I like this company, Southern Copper. Let's take a look to see which are the other ones in the miner group. This is group 21 out of 197. So let me go to the group, and I just kind of want to check the, do the kind of the smell test on everybody else that's in the group. The miner sector, which I do think is a great sector. As you can see, this chart is looking quite good. This is the overall chart for it's got a relative strength of 89, a very, very strong. Let's see who the biggest ones are in this area. Of course, BHP, that's no surprise. That's the big Australian company. They're doing very, very well. Let's see, Rio Tinto. I think the one you want to look at is Southern, but I think the one you want to look at is Vale. This is a Brazilian company. I think it's a little stronger than SCCO. Very similar in terms of what they're into. But Vale, VALE, good company, Brazilian company, 81% up in terms of their sales. Their profits, though, are up over 1,000%. This is a 91 relative strength. So in this group, in this miner group, Arun, I think this is probably the one. I think SCCO is very, very good. I think it's a very, very good stock. But I do think that Vale, VALE, is potentially a little bit better. It's a Brazil-based company. They do primarily mine in South America, but they have very, very strong group. So this is one you might want to look at. Very good chart. This one has a little bit better chart than SCCO, but they're both good. I'm going to go back to SCCO, Southern Copper, SCCO. But Vale is also in that group as well. They're both good charts. I just think that the Vale, VALE chart is just a little bit better. So that might be an alternative, but I don't see anything wrong with Southern Copper. I just think that VALE is a little bit stronger. That's all. When this dip will stop with crypto is down. Good question. Yeah, I think that crypto, the governments just don't like crypto a lot. I understand why they don't. They want inflation. I think if you have some profits in crypto, I think you want to take a little bit of your chips off the table, but not necessarily take them to cash. Maybe consider something like the GLD, which I've been buying as of late. It's the index fund, the ETF that tracks the price of bullion, and it's not, it doesn't spike up, but it's kind of slow but sure wins the race. And I kind of want to show you the chart on it. I have some long calls on this one. It just, again, I started buying at 175. It's now 173, and it just keeps making this movement up here. So if you're in crypto and you kind of want to diversify a little bit, I always believe in this area you should be a little bit diverse. You might want to consider possibly doing something with gold. I don't normally recommend gold. I'm not a big gold bug, but we're going to have some huge inflation, and I think that it's important that we see that. Here, I'm going to show you the gold chart. Basically, it has been moving up. If gold moves above $2,000, I think psychologically we're going to see it move much higher. This is currently the gold fix for today. It's up $5.99, or about 0.32%, which is significant in terms of this because it is a commodity. It's at 1904 today, and it's definitely up. Silver is up as well, but I do not consider, and I know that I'm going to get hate mail for this, I do not consider silver an inflation hedge. The problem is when silver gets too high, Silver just comes out of the woodwork. So I think you only, if you, is in terms of a hedge on inflation and on purchasing power of the dollar, I think you just got to look at gold and gold only. Just buy less gold, don't buy silver. I know everyone's going to tell you to buy silver, but because it can go up faster, but it also can go down faster. So I like gold better in terms of a hedge. So basically, if you have some profits in Bitcoin, consider possibly selling half and moving that to gold. I think that might be better. It'll give you some diversification. Let's look at DraftKings, DK, and G. Now it has been pulling back, but it has reversed, and this is something. It's just at the very, very beginning of reversal. I'm not a buyer at this point for DraftKings, but I am very interested in this. I do like this stock a lot, and I have traded it. This is the reversal line. I'm going to reactivate it here. It has moved right above that. It has not confirmed a reversal yet at 49.98. It's up a little bit. It really needs to be at the 200-day line, and that price is about 51. So if gold moves, if DraftKings moves above about 51.50, then I think you might want to consider going into it. But right now, no, it's below the 200-day line. I don't like to buy stocks below the 200-day line. The relative strength is weak, but when the economy reopens, this one may be a real superstar. But right now, you can't buy it. So right now, with DraftKings, I think what you've got to do with DraftKings is just basically watch list it for now and wait until it moves you really above about, and I'm going to look at where the 20 above about 55. I think that's going to be that's going to be the place. Why I say 55? Well, because that's where the 50-day line is, and so really to confirm a reversal, I think it really needs to be moving above that 50-day line. So if it moves up about another 10%, then I can think you can start possibly consider getting into it. But it does have a low relative strength, and I think it is a little bit more difficult to trade right now. Just wanted to show you about our special service. We have at Dow's Trading Floor, we have a special service, and it basically basically to get on the action trade alert, it's very easy to do. Just go to sendfox.com/Dallas Trading Floor. Just need a first and last name, and you'll be right on the list. And definitely worthwhile. We also have a paid service for Vinny, which is for our Discord room. A lot of people are in that and doing very well in trades. It gives a little bit more direct access to me and some of our people here, and it's a good way to go as well. And that is with this address. Let me put that up. Oops, and put that up on the screen right now. And that is to get to that list. That's for a paid Discord service. Vinny, VHINNY.com/u/Dallas Trading Floor. So I guess I have time for about one or so more questions. It's been kind of NVIDIA, Mongo, ready to break out. Thanks. Okay, let's look at MOGO. Let's look to see if we have a potential for a breakout there on that one. So let me pull over to that screen. Let me see if I can get to it. Wow, let's see. MOGO. Look at it. Canadian company that offers a financial technology company. Yeah, I don't know. Is it ready to break out? Looking at this, not really. It's got a downward trend. I really think it's got to move above about 12 before you can have a potential breakout on this one. So I can't recommend this one Sales are off, and it doesn't have any profits. 8% funds. I think you gotta wait on this one, unfortunately. I think you gotta wait, unfortunately, on this one. Well, okay. One last question. Nvidia, when do you think is a great buy? I think it's a great buy right now. I just bought right before the show. I bought about $15,000 worth of it. I do think I do think that, and this is my third buy in basically 2 weeks. So I am, and if it moves higher, I'll probably buy even more. I do believe in this stock. I may get, I may be wrong on it, but I think that it may be one of the best stocks, at least in this next few months. So Nvidia, I think it's a very good buy. The chart pattern is excellent. It's had super earnings. It's up earnings. Sales are up 84%. The profit is up 100% quarter to quarter. So I think it's looking very, very strong. And I think it's worth your while. Well, it's been on an hour. I'm not going to be back on Monday because it is a holiday for all of the major exchanges here in the U.S. I will be back though 2:30 on Tuesday. And Tuesday, let's look at my handy dandy calendar here. And that is going to be, let's see, it's May, so it's going to be June. Look at that. Okay, it's going to be June 1st. I won't be back until June 1st. But on June 1st at 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern, I'll be back with Dallas Trading Floor. Until then, I hope everyone has a very nice Memorial Day. Happy trading, and I'll see you back here 2:30 on Tuesday. Thanks.